The game has changed, gentlemen. It's a different world out there. Dating apps, social media, porn, OnlyFans. The age of information. 300,000 years of human evolution. 12,000 generations. 1,000 years from now, they'll look back on today as the defining period in human history. And we're living in it. We are generation number 1. We're pioneers, exploring a new world of social dynamics, like the Columbuses and Tasmans of old. Adventure awaits, new experiences, but new challenges too. Let's be real, bro. Modern dating can feel like trying to defuse a bomb with no training. One wrong move, boom, ghosted, cheated on, or stuck in a situationship, losing sleep over a girl who thinks loyalty is a Spotify playlist. Most dudes, especially young dudes, are walking into dating blind. That's why they get played, manipulated, and heartbroken. If you've ever looked back on a situationship and thought, bro, what was I thinking? Or you found yourself saying, how could she do this to me? Don't worry, bro. You're not broken. You're probably just inexperienced. Today I'm gonna share the 3 things that every man needs to navigate modern dating successfully. But you need all 3 to do it right. Let's get down to business. Number 1, every man needs options. If you're a man with no options, you're not dating, you're negotiating for approval. You'll accept whatever comes your way. Not because it's what you want, but just because you think it's all you can get. That's dangerous. Here's why optionality is essential. Without options, you tolerate disrespect because you're scared of being alone. You chase low effort women because you think nothing better exists, right? This is low hanging fruit, bro. You settle, not because she's right for you, just because she's available. You get manipulated easily because you're operating out of fear and not abundance. You become the nice guy with no boundaries, no spine, and no attraction. I remember once upon a time, your boy went through a dry spell. It had been like 2 years or like a year and a half or something where I hadn't been dating. You take a little bit of time out of the game, bro, and you start, have I got the mojo? Did I ever have it? Will I perform on the night? And so I'd kind of tied up these loose ends in my life, right? And I was like, all right, it's time to jump back in the game. This is just getting sad. I had like no momentum in this, right? So I had no confidence. So I meet up with a couple girls, had some dates, one horror story there, which is not even the focus of this video, but it just cements the fact that you need options because I plucked 2 cards, and the first 2 cards, jokers. So the second girl, she was just like wearing a dress made of red flags, and I was enticed. This chick had a boyfriend, and it was like an open relationship, but it was only open on her side. What had happened was she wanted to break up with this dude. He was like, no, wait, what if we open a relationship? Oh, brother, no. There's a lesson right there, young man. If a girl wants to leave, you just let her go. See you, darling. Guess what happens next? The weeks turn into months. The cheeky catch-ups turn into like bonding, and we fall in love. And this girl was just in a certain life phase that I had already passed through, right? And it happens for men too, but women especially, like there's a phase of life where they want to explore. And because she'd had a boyfriend for like 5 years or something, she was like trying to play the field. Now her boyfriend loves her, I love her, and she's still out there flirting. Hearts are getting dragged around left, right, and center. I actually nearly ended up getting a hit put on me for this girl. Would I have died? I don't know. Definitely would have got my ass beat. But I was trying to like protect her, stuck my neck out for her, called a dude out. Turns out this dude was connected with some bad boys. After that, bro, I just saw her different. She kind of didn't recognize the risk that I took in doing that. And I was like, okay, pull the plug, bro. That's your bad news. So I left that girl and it hurt for a little bit. But what else can you expect? You give your heart to someone, how they treat it is up to them. That's why you need to choose wisely. Point being, I didn't really have any business messing around with a girl like her. But because I felt like I didn't have other options, I put up with far more than I should, okay? So number 1, gentlemen, you need options. How do you build options? Learn how to speak, to joke, connect. Charming. Charming is a good way for a girl to describe you after you've had a date. Charming is like flirty, but with the undercurrent of good man. Not nice guy. Good man. Charming. Physique. Now look, you don't have to be Arnold, okay? But you do need to go to the gym, gentlemen. For like 1,000,000,001 reasons. Women being one of them. You don't want tits, boys. You don't want titties, okay? If you look straight down and you can't see it, brother, time to hop into the gym, my G. Style, grooming, get your hair cut. Talking a lot of shit for a guy with a mop on his head right now. Get some nice clothes, freshen up, smell good. Find a nice cologne. Pair it with a nice deodorant. I don't like to put deodorant on the skin. It's like poisonous. I spray the clothes, bro. And again, pick one that's like nice, but unknown. That's what we're going for. Like, you got your own unique flavor now. You see what I'm saying? This is game 101. Money is good, but beyond that, bro, purpose. This dude wakes up and he does some shit. You know, he's got something he wants to do. When you're young, women are like betting. They're betting on the horse. And if this fat, podgy, stinky, broke horse pulls up to the start line, ain't nobody betting those chips, bro. And you can't blame women on that. That's on you. Hobbies, passions, things you like doing, you know? Things that make you you. If you're gonna date seriously, for like a partner, for a wifey, for a baby mama, it's good to have your ducks in a row a bit first. To know who you are, what you're about, and what you want to do. I mean, it depends how old you are, bro, but when you get to my age, 28, hey boys, 28, fuck. The squeeze, you feel the squeeze, no doubt about it. It's like, what are we doing here, playboy? Social circle, having friends, being connected, having a good relationship with your family. This guy is like a node in the network and he's solid. And like, he plays his part in the community. Not just women, everyone loves that. Remember boys, you attract what you are. If your life is empty, your options will be too. With the options, you choose, you don't chase. You walk away easy from red flags, bad energy, attitude. You become calm, confident, because you're not desperate. She can come or she can go, it's all good. See, and this is like, you gotta have your world built up a little bit, man. If your life kind of sucks and you got nothing going on, and a chick comes into your life, you're just gonna cling to her like, my savior. My saving grace. Bro, nobody loves that. Desperation is inherently gross. Doesn't matter who you are. Because a woman can feel when you're needy and when you're not. I'm not talking about the game side of it, like leaving it 3 days to text and all this shit. Look, man, this is why I'm glad I'm not dating anymore. Because like, all this fucking hoo-ha. But this is the point. If you actually have things going on, it's not a game. You know, like you're genuinely busy. Doesn't mean you have to be rude. They're not your little toys, you know. And you're no longer looking for someone to complete you because you're already whole. Bars! And here's the #1 thing to remember with this. If you have options, which you should, never hold it over a woman's head. Okay, that's weak shit. Never dangle it like a threat. Like, if you play up, I got this chick in my DM. Lame. In my opinion, a relationship can't flourish properly if there's always this underlying undertone of like breaking up. Every argument, oh, I'm breaking up with you, I'm leaving. It's like, bro, you just compromise the foundations of your home, your relationship. So that's a side point. Options covered. The second skill every man needs to navigate dating successfully: standards. Without standards, you attract chaos. Manipulative, unstable woman, because you're not filtering anything out. Without standards, you don't enforce boundaries. She disrespects you, you let it slide. Again and again. The power dynamic tilts. And her attraction and her respect for you begins to wane. Without standards, you ignore red flags. You're constantly fighting for basic respect. If you find yourself saying to your girl in an argument, why don't you respect me? You need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. You're already on thin ice at that point. Once the dynamic begins to play out this way, it's much harder to reverse it. What do they say? Prevention is better than cure. That's why you come into it with the standards and you hold true to them. Here's the thing, boys. This is my theory, right? I think if you're moderately to highly attracted to any woman and you enjoy each other's company, sooner or later, you're gonna develop feelings. This is familiarity, right? This is why so many people have like work crushes. If they walk past them in the street, they might not look twice, but because they're there in proximity every day, it's familiarity. They start to see them, they start to know them, they start to get a little horny, and then it's on. Some dude out there like, fuck, I knew it. You spend enough time around anyone, it's easy to fall in love, especially when you add sex into the mix. Sex is sacred. Corny as it is, there's no way that two human beings can be closer than when they're inside each other. Or, you know what I mean. Whether it's spiritual or it's just like biological, you connect when you go inside a woman. What the standards actually include. It's kind of like your dating blueprint, right? Your stipulations. If you're jumping on this train, girl, these are the rules. But it's a two-way street. You know what I mean? Like, two worlds are colliding here, and this is what a relationship is. You work these things out. Standards are deal breakers, right? What is a hard no? What is a deal breaker for you? You can like watch all this shit on the internet and they kind of indoctrinate you with like standards that you should put upon women. Lots of them I agree with, lots, but not every one. That's up for you to decide. How does that sit with you? How does her behavior sit with you? And again, vice versa. Is she lazy? Does she have a victim mentality? Is she kind of trouble? She's just a damsel in distress. These kind of things, for me, deal breakers. But they're not hard and fast rules. It's my interpretation. What kind of behaviors will you not overlook? Jealousy, gaslighting, insecurity. Does she try to be overly controlling? Does she play games? Ooh, brother. You're gonna get a lot of games with these girls. What are your non-negotiables? What must a partner bring to the table? Emotional maturity, ambition, kindness, physical affection. What do you want? You get to decide, my bro. And this is the glory of options and just self-sovereignty, self-respect. You choose, bro. Logic and feeling, two important parts of the puzzle. You can't lead too much with logic and you can't lead too much with the heart. Or your cock, to be fair. The third runner in this race, it's the Holy Trinity, brother. It's the middle passage. It's the art of loving, my brother. What are your expectations and conditions? Your communicative style, respect, intimacy, effort, and what will you offer? And the last part about standards, and probably the most important, consequences. Right? If these are the expectations, what happens if she breaks them? Because it shouldn't be nothing. Boundaries without consequences are just preferences. And people will step right over that. But that's not a boundary, that's a line in the sand. And as the emotional waves roll in, taken by the tide. Final thoughts on standards. When a man has no standards, he's a target. When a man knows exactly who he is and what he stands for, he becomes like a filter, not a sponge. And that's the kind of man women respect and desire. Last of the three, boys. Experience. You can have all the options. You can have your firmly set standards, but if you don't have experience, you'll fumble the bag. You'll say the wrong thing, you'll do too much, you'll do not enough, you'll miss the signs, you'll trust the wrong person, you might push away the right one, and then you'll sit on your bed at 2 a.m. listening to The Weeknd like you've just lived through a divorce. Without experience, you don't see red flags until they're smashing through your boundaries like a wrecking ball, wondering what the hell just happened. You go on dates and it feels like a job interview. Awkward silences. Not a lot of gusto there, no spark. Sex becomes a minefield, full of performance anxiety, confusion, unmet desires, no confidence. You chase intensity over stability, thinking chaos is just passion. You might find yourself saying things like, but she said she wasn't like other girls. Oh, player, please, player, please. Clean your knees. Now the first two pieces, options and standards, you can formulate these, you can work on these, you can build these somewhat in a bubble. But experience, brother, you just gotta dive in the pool, bro. And this one might take some time. I know some dudes that are like naturals, that just were good with women, smooth from day dot. But for most of us muggles, you gotta learn this stuff, bro. And that's just a matter of reps. I've made so many mistakes, bro. I've fumbled some beautiful, beautiful bags. I've put up with some bullshit. I've been played, I've been cheated. The works burger, I done ate that. If you don't have experience, you don't know about male-female dynamics. You can lose people that mean the world to you because you weren't mature enough. If you don't have experiences, you don't know about phasings. If a girl's in this phase of life, you're in this phase of life. Even if you're madly in love, it's damn hard to keep it together, bro. There are crossroad moments, there are timelines, all right? Woman has like the fertility window. She's got so many years she can make babies, which is, again, why having your stuff together ASAP just gives you the most options in life, not with women now. My policy, lead with love, try to be a good man, and you can navigate them well in the moment even if you don't have the experience. There's tests and stuff too, bro. Women will test you to see what you're made of. They'll test your metal. They call that a shit test, and I don't know why, but they will test you. They want to see what you're built of. In former times, a dude had to provide and protect. Bit abstracted today, but it's kind of the same. But back in the old days, it was real life or death shit. And if a woman chose a schmuck, she was in for a shitty life, or death, or her children not surviving. So they had to pick damn carefully. And that's why today women will test you. They'll poke you in a weak spot. They'll make the little comment. They might flirt with another man to see how you respond. Essentially, when a woman tests you in this way, she's trying to find out how you react in worst case scenarios. Because it's one thing when you're in a relationship and she's got a little bit of a mask on, You've got a little bit of a mask on and you're in the early stages of a relationship and you're playing happy families, mask to mask, deep in the midst of the honeymoon phase. But sooner or later, a woman's gonna need to shake shit up a little bit just to see like, hey man, is this guy really all that? Because we've only known each other in the sunny seasons. What happens when a storm rolls in? What happens when it's raining out? What happens when it's -2 degrees and it's frost on the morning porch? Know what I mean? A woman needs to know. A woman will test you, and that's her right to. Oh, I've done it again. My hair's getting all gollywog. I have a small window of when I can like film with wet hair, and then it just starts getting a bit nutty. If a man has experience, goodbye gollywog. You move calmly, because you've seen it all before. You pick up on the little nuances, the subtleties, subtext, energy shifts, mixed signals, and you know how to respond without getting emotional. And you know how to navigate it, not with manipulation, but with class. You're a class act. That charming fella was a class act. You've been through the fire. You're a seasoned veteran. You're the scarred lion. Instead of bitterness, now you have wisdom. That's the game. Shit, I'm spitting flames today. This is the one-stop shop video that summarizes every single piece of relationship advice out there. If you just put it all in a mixer, distilled it down, this is the shit, bro. This is potent. Let this be the one. With experience, sex becomes way better for her and for you. It's not awkward and unsure, you know? So how do you build experience? You build experience the same way that you build muscle, brother. Reps, resistance, and sometimes pain. Trial and error. Jump in, test it out, see how it goes. Keep what's useful, discard the rest. Continue the process as you go. Study female psychology. Learn how attraction works, what hypergamy is, what turns women on, physically, but emotionally and mentally too. Study this stuff like it matters, bro, because it does. It comes down to real world practice and study. Learn from others. Like your boy over here. I won't lead you astray, bro. So drop that subject. Look, you can't skip experiences. You either go through the fire or you stay in the cold. This isn't about becoming a player. It's about becoming a man of depth. Someone who's been through enough to stay calm, read situations clearly, and act from wisdom, not insecurity. That alone makes you stand out. Those are the 3 skills, my brothers. Look, man, remember this. The scars on a man's heart are never from his enemies. The real danger isn't in who hates you. It's in who you love and who you let love you without requiring them to earn it. Look, if this video hit home, good. That means you're waking up to the truth that most men don't discover till it's too late. You can keep winging it in dating, or you can start acquiring those 3 things. And bro, these ain't just dating tips. They're the foundation of emotional control, masculine confidence, and self-respect. That concludes today's session. Bro Code episode 1. Maybe I'll start a series on that, Bro Code. I want you to succeed, my brother, but don't play these women either, bro. Use what I've shown you today for good and not evil. You know what to do, man. If you like this video, gentlemen, subscribe, hit the bell thing, right? The notification, which means Fletcher the Fool just dropped, which should have you hopping right out of bed. If you had to add number 4 and 5, what would they be? I'm still a young man myself. I got plenty to learn. Until next time, my fellow fools, safe travels.